started. You should all be able to see my screen now, I hope. So we're going to go through a bit of how the process of creating the booth works. It's not that difficult, but we'll go through some of what we think you should focus on and how it works. The meeting will also be recorded because there are some people that can't attend today. So we're going to share it with them so that they can see it later on. Let's get started. So first of all, you all have to create an account. There should have been a link sent out to you. I'm also going to show you later on. So during the registration, make sure that you choose your company. And if it doesn't exist, it's just you just have to add it. And when other people on your team, your coworkers, are joining, they have to choose the same company. You can only add people to your booth that are part of the same company, so make sure to get that right. And after you've created, you also have to apply for the event. And it might take a little while for that to process because we have to manually add you to the event. So if that takes some time, just wait. And if you think it's taking too long, please send us an email and we'll look into it because then it might be something wrong. So this is how it looks when you've created an account. I think I have to reload here. Yeah, this is how it looks. So you get to this and you see all the upcoming events. I'm gonna see here, and I'm gonna do this in English. There's also, of course, a Swedish version of the site. I'm guessing that most of you are gonna do it in Swedish, so the words might be different, but it shouldn't be too difficult. So you have the event here. You just press register, and you get to this site, which is the event. Some companies have already started this process and have already gone through, but then you press request registration. This will give us will send a request to us, and we have to approve company by company, so that not just anyone can create an account and join the event. I think Sebastian should add the account, right? Yes. So already registered. Then the next time you go in, you can see that it's going to be manage stall here. Just press the manage stall, and it asks you to create a stall. Then you press start from scratch, and we move on to the creation of the stall. Everything here can be changed afterwards. So, for example, if I set this up now, we can start by changing the cover image. So we can, let's see. I also have to find the picture. So if we upload the picture of the whole Charm committee, everyone that's arranged the fair this year, you can see that it will add a cover image. And if we press the preview stall, it will open a new page where you can see how the stall looks. So you can see exactly how the students will see your stall or booth. And I'm just going to add some text here for our booth so you can see how that looks. And you can, of course, also add media. So you can add both pictures and videos. And when you're adding videos and images, there are some good things to know. This up here will look different than those two down here. The intro media, for example, if we add a YouTube link here. Let's see if I can find the one we've used before. Right here. It will be added to the side like this. But if you add it here, it will be bigger and centered in in the middle instead, and you can also have more than one video at a time, like that. You can also put in images. So you can have two media reels, one with videos and one with images. And there's also description text and jobs. So let me add a quick description text here as well. Like so. Perfect. So if we preview the stall again, we can see that it should have added both the two videos here. It's a bit slow in the loading, but it's added both of the videos so that we can watch those if we want to. Yeah, it's loading because my internet is a bit slow while I have Zoom on. Yeah, and we can see that every text that I've added is added here as well. So back at the editing site, we can also add jobs. We'll talk about those in a bit. But here is an important part, and this is the team. To add another team member, you edit your team, and you can add colleagues. So for example, I can add Sebastian here. And when I press save, there will be an email sent to Sebastian. And when he clicks, and in that email, there will be a link. And when he clicks that link, he'll get added to the stall and can edit everything that you can edit and look at the jobs and also be part of the fair when it opens. Yes. So then we also have the jobs. So when you've created a job, you can't delete it. You can take it offline, which will be important later. But you can choose between all the available jobs, jobs you've created before. So for example, we have information and sponsansvarig here, but we can also create a new one. And with a new one, there are some things that you need to add. So for example, if we add one of the in the Charm committee, that would be voluntary work, and this would be a position in supply chain and logistics. It would be in Gothenburg. Remote work is not possible, and the job title is logistics manager. And then you add a brief teaser to it. So just a short text so that you know what it's about. And then you can choose either to have the description for the job as a text or as a PDF. Graduateland recommends that you add it as a plain text because PDFs might not be easy to read for everyone on every computer. But that's totally up to you. So I'm just going to add a short text here. When adding a text, you also need it to be at least 500 characters, which should be noted. You can also attach a video if you want that. And you can choose when it should go online, as soon as possible or custom online date. So if you have some deadlines, you can add that here. But I'll put it as online as soon as possible. And then we press next. Then we're going to get to the target audience tab, which is where we add what kind of skills are needed. So for this, we need logistic skills, communications, teamwork, and we also need, so those that are examples, we also need good organizations and planning skills. As you can see when we're searching here, there are different options showing up. You have to choose between the options available already. Most things should be in here. If something's not in there, you might need to search with different phrasing to get what you're looking for. These are then used, for example, when students are searching, they can search on the keywords, and they can also say what they have skills in, and it will match them up with the appropriate jobs available. Then we can also add language skills. So for this, you need to speak Swedish, fluent, and you also need to be able to speak English, and at a professional level. Then you can also filter it by degrees. You see, we have some messages in the chat. Yes. Seems they're getting answered. You can add a certain degree level that's required for the job. So if you're only looking for people in doctoral degrees, you can filter it by that. You can also specify specific area of studies. This shows a lot of different areas, even those not available on Chalmers. So you have to be sure you take the right one when you choose this. For example, we require computer science, could be something, but we're not requiring that here. You can also require a certain time of graduation, so that they have to have graduated by a certain time to actually be able to apply. And you can also require them to be located in the country of the job. And when we press next, we get to the next tab. Here you can choose either to do everything through the Graduateland, so this site, or you can redirect to an external page. If you redirect to an external page, for example, you also have something. Then when they apply for the job, they will just be redirected to your own site. Or you can simply use this, and then you just enter an email, and when someone applies, you'll get an email that they've applied. So we're gonna have it on the site. I'm gonna enter my email like that. And when you press next here, the job application has been added. And when we press save here, it should show up in the booth. And here it shows up. And if we press the preview stall option, it should also be shown here. If it loads properly, that is. Maybe not. Strange. We will press save again. And if there are any bugs like this, that here, right, here it shows up here. But if there are any bugs like this that show up, please contact us, and we'll try to look into that and see if they can fix it. But usually it might be fixed by either saving again or by reloading the site, which could be good to know. Another thing which you should add is what students can talk to you about. Because students don't know what you're working with usually, and giving them some easy questions that they can start off the conversation with could help a lot. So for example, we're going to add 3 topics here. How you can help with the next charm, how charm works, and a fair incidents. And then they will show up in the top here. Another thing which is already added for the Charm company is the logo. You have to add a squared image that's 400 by 400 big. Can't be any other size. So if you get an error there, that's probably why. Yes, I think that's everything you need to know to create the stall. Are there any questions? Right, so from the question that Rika said earlier, yeah, as I said, you can link it. Yeah. Yeah, there's a, you can only have 4 topics, unfortunately. If you want more than that, you could probably add more text in the description about things they can talk to you about, but it won't. But you should choose 4 that are the main things they can talk to you about. Right. So some other things to think about when you're creating the stall is more information about what you do is better. A lot of students appreciate if you go more in depth on what you work on, not just we're consultants working with IT. Most students can probably get that from your website or similar, but a lot of students would rather know that, oh, you're working with that company with a more specific things, and try to be specific and stand out. Try to add text and also images that make students ask you questions about what they're about. And when it comes to images and videos, try to find interesting representations of what you do. And once again, try to stand out. Students want to know how the work environment will be like, not just a picture of a conference room, for example. So try to take real working examples of how it looks at the office or what you might do, so that students know what they'll get into. And don't use just pure marketing images. They are also good, but as I said, show off something interesting, intriguing that the students can ask questions about, so that they want to know more. Yes. Are there any questions? If you want to ask them, you can also just unmute yourself and ask them to me instead of by the chat. I see that there's been a question. Right, question has already answered it. But to also address the question here, these images here for the talked about topics, we haven't. They are not able to be changed at the moment. So that's the pictures that you have to live with, unfortunately.
Hi, Lukas. Erika here from SED. I'm wondering, what will the experience be for the students who enters the different stalls, like during the actual fair?
So during the fair, when to your stall, it will just look just like when you press the preview stall button here. So this is exactly how the students will see it. The students will also get, unfortunately, I can't show the list of companies right now because that's only possible when the fair is actually live. But they'll get a list of, yeah. But we might be able to set the fair live in a short while to just show that. But generally, students will get a list of all the companies and they can go through and choose which ones.
And then they can choose who they want to talk to, or is it us as company representatives that get to pick who we want to talk to, Or how does that work?
That can actually work both ways. So when the students get to see the stall like this, they can press and talk to the team. So there will be buttons to talk with. For example, if I want to talk with Sebastian, I can click on Sebastian and I'll start a chat with Sebastian.
Okay, will it be like a type chat or a live video chat?
Are actually possible. For example, if we and the other way around, you can also look for students. So if we take that part first, I can also show you how the chat system works.
Oh, thanks.
You can see all the students that are live. Currently, we have one candidate live. But if we press on sourcing, you can look through all the registered students. You can filter and search. So if we, for example, we can filter here, if it will load for me. Yeah, so I added some filters earlier. For example, I require them to be in Sweden and we look trying to get to or have a bachelor's degree.
Yeah.
And we can see that it matched with 8 people currently registered. It's for example, we have Sebastian here. He has a green button, a green indicator here, which means he's online right now. So for example, we can take up his profile and we can see that, yeah, he's 30 years old. He's studying maskinteknik. He's been a trafikledare at Jetpack earlier. Here are some of his skills, what languages he have, and so you can see information about the students. And if you think Sebastian's interesting, we can start a chat with him. We can say, "Hi, Sebastian. You seem interesting."
Yeah, okay. So it won't be a video chat, it will be typing.
But when we open this chat now, we can also start a video voice call.
Oh, okay, that's good.
But you have to start the conversation first.
Okay.
It's also just you as the company that can initiate that video or voice call. So the students can initiate it with you.
Okay. Will the students be able to see who's available or who's in a chat already? Or will it be like a line, or how does that work?
So the students won't be if you're currently in another chat, because how it works is if we press all chats here, we can see that this is the chats that the whole company has, and you can give this chat to a specific person. So since Sebastian is on my team, I can give the chat to Sebastian, and then when he clicks on my chats, the chat will be his and he can chat in it.
How do you do that? How do you give a chat to somebody?
So you have chat owner over here on the right. And
I can see that because it's wait. Oh, there we go. Yeah.
Yeah, so I can, and then I can press Sebastian here. And then
everybody in the team can do this, right? So it's not just me.
Exactly. But only the person that is currently the chat owner can chat in with that person. So the students, if we go to the previous stall once again, we can see, so for example, if I start to chat with Sebastian, the chat will automatically be assigned to him, but he can then give it away to someone else. But the students can choose which person to chat with from the start. So for example, I'm put here as projektledare, as project leader. And if you want to talk with me specifically, you can start the chat with me. But I might say, oh, you're probably more interested in talking with Sebastian, and I can put a person onto Sebastian instead.
Okay.
Is there any way, sorry, this is Clara from Fluido. Is there any way to see who is visiting your stand at the moment and start a chat with them, or how does that work?
No, you can't see who's current. What you can see is this online talent. So you can see how many candidates are online right now. So are just are online on the platform visiting the fair at the moment. And you can also see the engagement the last 7 days, which means that you can see how many users have viewed your jobs and followers. So when you've entered the stall and leave it, you'll get, as a student, you'll get a little pop-up that says, do you want to follow this company? And then they'll get updates on if you put up a new job or similar. And you can also see how many has visited your employer profile.
Okay, but we can't see who.
And you can also see exactly. And here you can also see what kind of people are online right now. So you can see which degree level, what they're majoring in, when they're planning to graduate, and students to graduates ratio. And you can also see where they would like to work. So you can get a general information about the students that are currently online.
Okay.
Hi, Daniel here from Stena. I have a question regarding the voice video calls that we can have. Is it only on one-to-one, or is it possible to have one-to-many? Like, can I speak to multiple students at the same time?
It's only one-to-one. There are no way to talk to more than one student at once, unfortunately.
Okay, and then I become unavailable as long as I speak to somebody, and I have to close that call to speak to another one, then I assume.
Yeah.
Okay.
But when you just chatting with someone won't make you unavailable.
Okay, great, thanks.
I see that
we can have like 10 people who are trying to chat with us at the same time, but they won't get an answer if we're in another call, for instance.
So when we're looking at the chats, most of your communication will probably be through the right. I gave that. Yeah. So this is Sebastian's chat right now, and you can also you can switch between chats, but you can only have one voice or video call at a time. But students will probably most likely prefer to talk via text at the beginning and go on to voice or video later if they're more interested, or if you want to. While talking via text, you can probably handle quite a few people at the same time. Because people won't have a problem with waiting one or 2 minutes for the answer, because students might be talking to 3 or 4 companies at the same time as well.
Oh, okay.
I see we have a question from Lena in the chat about the digital webinars during Charm. They will be done via this system as well, but there will be onboarding for those that have that later on, where we'll be testing the system with the ones having webinars.
But from where will they be available? From the starting page, or?
The webinars.
Yeah.
Let's see here. I'm just gonna log in as a student, and I should be able to show you. Right. So if you show the event here, this is how it looks for the students. So you can see all the companies here. These are the companies that have already started to create. You can also see all the jobs that have been uploaded. So as a student, you can look through the different jobs that are available. And also there are also some general information. I'm gonna change over to English real quick. Yeah, so here's the general information. So you can see which companies attend, and we're gonna update this text later. Unfortunately, we don't, since we haven't added any webinars right now, we can't see that. But I think Sebastian is working on adding one so we can see. But there will be a tab here, which shows you the webinars for the students, or live events, I think it's called. So Sebastian is working on creating so that we have a live event there so that you can see how the tab works. Are there any other questions meanwhile that I can answer while we're waiting?
Lucas, it's Hannah here from Volvo.
I can't hear you that well.
Can you type in the chat instead?
Yeah, okay. You're gonna type in the chat, that's what I heard. So just to make sure.
I have another question. Will the fair be available, or the booth will be available outside the 2nd and the 3rd February, or will it be concentrated to 2 days and time, specific time?
Yeah, so the fair will be open during the 2nd and 3rd of February between 10 and 16, both days. Earlier we said 10 to 15 the second day, but we're made that to 10 to 16 as well. So 10 to 16 both days. And after that, the booths will still be available for students, but you can't initiate any new chats. So if you've started chatting or talking with the student, you keep talking with the student even after. The exact time which this will be possible, I'm not sure, but it will be a few weeks. So you're not going to have to worry about it.
Okay.
You'll be able to keep talking with the students, and they will also be able to look at your booth, but they can't initiate any chatting. Got a question from Joanne.
One
sorry, Anna.
question about that. Hi, I'm Jenny from Secon Tech. I have a question about that, about the opening dates. So the booth will open already at the 22nd of January, right?
Yes.
And what does that mean? So we can't initiate any chat or video conversations, I know, but what will that mean? That's like 10 days or something the students will be able
Yes.
to.
The deadline there is both so that the students will be able to look at the booth from that time, which means they can go into the event and they can look at the companies like this and go into a company. So for example, we can go into the Charm booth and look at it. That's what you can do from the 22nd. So they can start reading up on the companies and decide which ones to talk to. But also we're also doing this to put a deadline on you, because we'll be going through the different booths and maybe giving some tips to you on how you can improve it. If you find anything that, oh, maybe this picture isn't that flattering, and we might say, oh, so maybe you should change this picture. So we might give you some tips if we think it could be improved in some way or another. But chatting is available. Starting chats is not available outside of the fair window with 2nd and 3rd of February.
Okay, perfect. So one question more about the video conversations. What tool is that, or what program? So if you want to make a cover image or something, a background photo.
For the video conversations when chatting?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's done internally in here. I can see if we can start a call here so we can see how so that's done internally, right? Internally in Graduateland profile. but it seems to be. Let's see here. Failed to access my camera. Oh, right, the camera is used by Zoom, so I can't show it here. But this is how it looks like. And I'm not sure if you can actually add a background. It doesn't seem like it, but I'll look into it and see if it's possible to add a background.
Yeah, that would be perfect. Thank you.
Yes. So I think we should be able to look at a live event now. So if we enter the event again as a student, so this is the student view, we have live presentations up here. So if we go into this tab, Sebastian has added the video here, and we can also see the schedule. So this is scheduled to be live between 13:40 and 13:50. Unfortunately, we don't seem to be able to play this video. But you can also see that it's Charm is the company that's planning this, and you can also view this, view their stall or ask them questions. So by going into here, we're gonna load the Charm stall, I believe. But this is also yeah, and as you can see, there will also be a little window that says "Go to live presentations" with visiting, so that they know that something is happening. So this is just a video that's uploaded as an event, which will be published at a certain time. During the fair, the webinars and everything else that will be live will be actually done live. And then there will also be a possibility for the students to ask questions here to the company holding the webinar. But more information on that will come with the webinar onboarding, which will be in, I think, about a week and a half, maybe 2.
Is it still possible to register for webinars?
The schedule for the webinars is already set, and I don't think we actually have any slots available anymore, unfortunately.
Okay. I have another question, not related to webinars, but related to company representatives.
Yeah.
So we could add as many representatives or users as we want.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then there's no possibility to sort of schedule people, because I mean, if we have a lot of company representatives, they will not be available the full 2 days.
That's a
Exactly.
great question.
So
how will that be handled?
So if we're looking at the student view here again, and we go into the Charm booth, I think we should be able to see here. So right. Yeah, so you can only see the team members that are actually online right now. So if they are online and actively on the platform, they shouldn't show up here. But both Sebastian are logged in right now, and therefore will show up. Good thing to know is that it might be a minute delay or so between this updating. So if the students go into the stall and the team member leaves after that, it won't be updated for the students all the time. and also chats. If we look here, you can see all the chats that are available, even if this chat is Sebastian's. I can still access it and look at it. So I can go into the chat, and it will give me a notification that this is not your chat. But I can also take the ownership of the chat and stop talking. So if you have representatives that are not available anymore and won't be available for the rest of the fair, you can take over the chat and keep talking with the students. So you're not locked into talking with any. You're not locked in that student have to keep that same person. There's also a possibility for you to add notes to students. So for example, you can add a note to Sebastian, and everyone in the company can see that. So maybe you want to put a note that, oh, they fill certain requirements. You can say that, oh, they fill this requirement, so we like him or we dislike him for something, and everyone can see it. You
Hello,
can also...
Hannah here from Meridian.
Yeah.
So the thing on the panel on the right, the student cannot see anything we are doing there. For example, star marking them or thumbs down or all of that marks.
No,
Or
they
how does
can't.
it work?
So these everything in the right column here is just for you. So
Okay.
anything the students can't see. What the students can see is the chat in the middle.
Okay.
That's.
And could you
you
also
can
explain
add-
this?
Yeah.
Could you also explain some about the video conversations? I see that you will add a time slot for when you're available for a video conversation. How is it, like 15 minutes, and how many should we upload? And yeah, could you explain something about that?
So you can choose yourself how long you want them to be. But we would recommend you to have them quite short. So for example, if we put one from 10, you can probably 10 minutes should be enough. If you want to talk with them more, you can of course do that, but it's scheduling conversation is something that the students might like to just start the conversation and also have a dedicated time to talk with you.
And how many should we upload it during the entire day, or just when we have, or how much?
You can add and remove as you go, but so for example, I can add the time slot here, and there will be a time slot, but I can also add more time slots. So I can say, okay, but I want a 10-minute break until I have the next ones. So then I add one late with a 10 minutes interval in between.
But can you, sorry, Jenny here, can you replicate? So I mean, it's from 10 to 4. That's a lot, quite many hours. So I don't have to sit and, yeah.
Right. So, and by that, you don't have to have that many. So for example, you might, so instead of the students having to schedule, so that the students can schedule later in the day, you might just add that, okay, I'm available for 10 slots today, and then you can add on more later on if there's high interest or if there's a low interest, because a lot of students will probably talk to you not through the video conversations but directly via the chat. But there are no way of adding more than one at a time, so you have to do this manually, unfortunately.
Sorry, Lucas, I might have missed this before, but can we add pictures of ourselves with like our profiles?
Yes. So under account settings, you should be able to add a profile picture. seems to be a bit slow. Let's see if it's... Here we go. Yeah, so here you can change and your name and also the picture.
Perfect.
And there's also some... you can ignore this page, actually.
Okay.
You can, change your email and what you want notifications for and so on.
Perfect. Thank you.
But we recommend everyone to add a profile picture to their account.
Thanks.
Sorry, it says recruiter. Is that the administration
Yes. So
role?
for you,
Or?
so for you as a recruiter, all of the URLs will be fair.charm.chalmers.se/recruiter, and it will also be a recruiter text up here, and that just means that you're on the recruiter side of the fair. When I am as a student, you can see that it doesn't say that. It just says our logo here. There's also an administration part which we as the organizers have, so there are 3 parts to it, but you will always be on the recruiter side. Are there any more questions?
Louise here from back to Sweden. Is it possible to receive the video after this session as well to share with the team who will be in the fair?
Yes, we're recording this Zoom meeting, so the video will be sent out via my mail to everyone.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You can share that onwards.
Yeah, great. Thanks.
Jenny here from Tech. If we have any further questions, is there a platform we can ask questions, or do we take them directly via email?
The easiest way would be to send them directly via email.
Okay.
At info@charm.chalmers.se. The should be on our website and also in the description of the event on the fair directly on fair.charm. Right, can't see it.
I have one question here, Louise, again from Vector Sweden. Regarding the video conversations, is it possible that 2 in the team can have a video conversation at the same time?
Do you mean in
the
call
same
or different
time?
calls?
Yeah, different calls, yes.
Yeah, different calls is possible. So each team member can have one video conversation.
Yeah, great. Thanks.
Jenny asked a question about relevant documents here, which I forgot to mention. You can also upload documents here that the students can download and look at. And you should be able to add more than one document here. For example, I should be able to add more than one. So when you upload one document, it's added, and then you can upload yet another one. Yeah, so here you have, now I've uploaded 2 documents. They will put down here like this. Are there any more questions?
Could you please, Jenny here again, Lucas, could you please, I know you talked about that in the beginning, but I'm not sure if I followed, but if I want to, if I can't answer questions, for instance, and I want to tell the student to talk to another team member,
Yeah.
how do I do that?
So let's see. Let me get the. Gotten too many. All right. So here's the recruiter side. So if we're going to manage stall here, we can. So here in the chats, you can change the chat owner as you, however you like. So under my chats, you'll see all the chats that are specifically yours, where you are the chat owner. But under all chats, you can see every chat that, so every student that has talked to your company during the fair will be here. And you can also see which team member is the owner, and you can also change the owner from here, however you'd like.
Perfect.
And you can also put labels on students. So, for example, you can which for tagging people with different things, and then you can of course filter by the labels later on. Did that answer your question?
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
Are there any other questions now? It doesn't seem like it. But then I think it's time to end this presentation and onboarding. I hope everyone's gotten a better understanding of how the system works and are better prepared for the fair. If there are any more questions, you can, of course, always ask us via email. You can find the email address both on our website and also in the event on fair.tron.se platform. The video that we recorded during this meeting will also be sent out together with a summary, which will be sent from Sebastian later in the day. And with that, I hope you'll all have a fantastic rest of the day, and I'll see you during the fair.
Thank you.
Great, thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.